to it because we see it in Rabat, we see it on TV, but you get to watch it in Nairobi. You get to watch it at home. You get to watch Omanyala at home. You get to watch Saramora at home. You get to watch Anderson Peters at home. I think we don't value it as much as we should. It's that important and it's that significant.
Tanui, thank you so much once again for joining us on Sport On. You are the competition director for the Absa Keino Classic. World-class athlete Boniface Moresa, African champion 4x400 meters, 2015 in Congo-Brazzaville. I was there when they made glory in Congo-Brazzaville, Wakabi. I can tell it was something special for Kenya. To some extent, they laid the foundation for the current performance that Kenya has had in the one-lap races. And of course, Madam Wihaki Washira, Director, Marketing and Corporate Affairs, Absa Kenya. Thank you so much for joining us on Sport On tonight. I'll start with you, Mr. Tanui. New venue, same energy. How are you excited about the 6th edition of the 2025 Keino Classic?
First of all, Bernard, Keino is no longer a thing of ours. It's gone, it's international, and it's a living thing on its own. Change of venue, whether we are in Nyayo, whether in Kasarane, or now the very best Ulinzi, it's the best. And we expect fireworks. We've done a lot in the stadium. I'm from there right away. It's one of the best. And you see what? We are very sure that Kenyans will feel it to the brim. By 9, no seats will be there. And I tell Kenyans, wachangamkie hiyo ticket. Sasa hivi, through tikiti.com or *519 *55#. Take it. We were assessing this evening, and it's 3/4 filled as of today. And you know we Kenyans are late takers. I believe that they will be there. And also too, the level of competition this year, having had the biggest entry of international athletes so far, it gives us that thing to walk around the clock to ensure that this is a magnificent thing. It's there.
Muhaki, what gives Absa the confidence to keep coming back? Because you've been there from day one. What is this that makes you guys feel like this is something we want to continue to be associated with?
I think the very first thing is just what you said. I don't think there's a moment of greater Kenyan pride than when it comes to athletics. We participate in many sports, but athletics, we are the kings, we are the queens. And so having that here at home, and Absa being the brand behind that, I mean, it beats any other reason for why we participate. Secondly, it's because of the stories. You know, our brand purpose is the story matters. Behind each and every athlete, there's a story. You just spoke about Omanyala, you know. What he did over the weekend, none of us would have foreseen. His story had been written by someone else, right? Maybe probably written him off, but he came out in Rabat and did a phenomenal job. So those are the stories as Absa we want to uplift, you know. Those are the stories we keep saying at every single meet, there is a new person who is discovered. There is new talent that is showcased. Absa is behind that. So we value in that each and every athlete is a story in of themselves, and we want to be part of their story and part of the Kenyan story when it's written, to be said that Absa provided this platform for these athletes to compete, and the whole world was watching as Absa provided this platform.
Boniface, obviously competing in Kenya, you've competed around the world. How special is it to have something similar to what you experience abroad happening right here in Kenyan soil? You have your family members, you have your friends, they're there just watching you doing what you do best.
All I can say, like, it's a good feeling because you know, these guys have been telling us like we want to watch you live. I think this is the best chance now. So as in having you guys coming there, supporting us, watching us live, we have guys there. The guys have been asking me about Omanyala, the likes of Petris, but I'm not sure if they're coming. So tomorrow is the day. I mean Saturday is the day. Yeah.
How does it feel like? Niko sure unawambia mnapendanga kuniona nikiwa nje. Sasa hii Saturday mnaniona. Like I'm sure you've been telling your family members, mwambia okay, at least because you know competing in at home, there's a way it's different.
Yeah. So you know, first thing you need to know.
Yeah.
Some athletes, like I can say like me, running here is somehow tricky because you need results.
The pressure is there.
Yeah, the pressure is there. Other than running outside there. So the feeling is much different because when I'm doing my runs here, nashtukanga tu
Unashtuka kidogo.
Yeah, but when I'm outside there, I'm free, can do anything. But I can read the feelings.
I like how he's honest. Pressure inakuwa kidogo.
The pressure is...
Moresa, mbona pressure? Mbona usikie pressure? Juu uko home because, and this answer maybe you're giving on behalf of a lot of Kenyan athletes.
Yeah.
For example, I know for a fact they don't like trials in Eldoret.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact. They would rather in Nairobi. Ni pressure gani hiyo mnafeel hiyo wakati mnakimbia Nairobi ama Eldoret ama?
Wajua, nikiwa huku, I know most athletes. Kama najua kwamba mekimbia time fulani, someone like if I'm doing 100, someone like Fadi, akona time fulani. So like, you know, like if I'm going to this race, the best I can do maybe it's number fulani. Sometimes we gauge. But nikiwa huku nje, naangalia hiyo list, I say like the only person mwenye ako fast ni huyu. Na seasonal best yake maybe because slower kuliko yangu. So huku nje I go all out like so like there's no one mwenye anaingia kwa mind yangu. Maybe ujue watu wengine like sometimes wanakuingia kwa kile. So unapata like when uko chini you are thinking of someone. So I think that's how the pressure
inakuwa. Nikiuliza, you see, especially for sprinters, there's not too many races you get invited, you know, unless you're Manyala, of course. Most of you don't get invited. So how does kitu kama Keino inamsaidiaje wakati kuna Absa Keino nyumbani, which means you have a chance to compete at a gold tour level championship?
First of all, we thank Absa for supporting us. So, you know, this is a good show yenye tumeletewa. It's a free one with like, you know, ukikimbia kama huku sahi na hawa wase hawezi sema like time zenyu ni mbaya. You know, hiyo ni trend imekuwa. Like umefinyiwa watch nini, kitu kama hiyo. So, it's something yenye imekuwa recognized international. So, when you get such a kind of a platform, dapiti uchitole like, you push hard like, if you run fast, you know, like, hata ukienda huku nje, kwangi na hiyo pressure. Like kama umekimbia Kenya at a high altitude, like something like 44. Ukienda kwa sea level,
43 taingia.
Easy.
Muhaki, if you could just quantify just how much investment you've put in over the years, just to make sure that this meet becomes bigger and bigger.
Okay, so maybe let me start with this year alone. So this year alone, we've given Athletics Kenya 60 million shillings. That's our investment. Last year was 40 million shillings. So you can see already just the spread over the 2 years. But over the last 6 years, it's cumulatively over 200 million shillings that we've invested in athletics only. Total sports over 1.3 billion shillings, right? So our commitment to sports, I think, is firm. And with Athletics Kenya, this is the 6th year, right? Yes. And it's because of a combination of factors. One, we can see the stories as we say, right? We can see from the beginning to now how many people, I mean Ferdinand Manyala himself, his story broke at the Absa Keino Classic, you know. So there's many of those stories. So that's one reason. The second one is those of you who are at the launch, I mean the sports fund CEO said it, Athletics Kenya is one of the athletics bodies that they don't struggle with when it comes to reporting of the investments they've received or the finances. So that's another reason why we keep plugging into Athletics Kenya. And third is just that because of the national pride. So there's the financial bit where we can quantify the money, but there's also the non-financial bit. With the young guys like these ones, we are taking them through financial literacy as well, because we are saying we don't want these guys to finish that short. You know, it's short for athletes. When it comes a time when you're not competing, so you will not be earning as much. But when you're at your prime, the money that you got, where did you invest it? You know, where did you take it? So that then they can still gain from it even after retirement. So for us, the non-financial bit is also really, really quite critical over and above the investment that we give to Athletics Kenya. We want to make sure that they shine during their prime, but they don't suffer when they have retired as well.
Muyaki, just to that same point, if you talked about non-financial as well, there's also the element of community engagement. Is that as well happening this time around, and what is it exactly?
Yes. So, for example, to give an indication, when we did Sirikwa in February, we did a whole load of financial literacy around Kaptagat, right, with the upcoming athletes. We also do community engagement on things like environmental conservation, so planting trees, etc. So when we go to this, we don't just invest in one area only. We look at the whole community and identify possible ways of engagement. Over and above that, for the athletes themselves, there's partnerships we have with wellness consultants like Nutrition by Thenya for the nutrition bit. We partnered with Eliud Kipchoge in the past to give donations around his home area for food. We also do sportswear kits for upcoming athletes, you know, to enable them at least get some decent, you know, kits to start off with. So we look at all the different areas and just try to make sure we are preparing these athletes to the best extent possible for them to show up for themselves and for Kenya at a really good level.
Bwana, everyone is, you see how everyone is talking about getting ready. Moresa wants a race, Muhaki has given you the money. How are the preparations for these? Because like you said, yes, it's the same, but it's a different venue. What are some of the things you guys have done to make sure that, you know what, guys, different venue, same quality, same atmosphere, same Absa Keino Classic?
First of all, as you know, these are world-class meet. We've ensured that the standards are met. We have, now that we moved to a different venue, a new venue totally, that no international event has happened, athletics event, but we made sure that the field is certified.
Ulinzi Sports Complex.
Ulinzi Sports Complex. So we'll be having the third certified, World Athletics certified field in Kenya, outside Kasarani and Nyayo. So that is a plus for us now. Two, most of the works that we engaged with Ulinzi, and we thank the KDF because they were kind enough.
Okay.
They broke all the protocols and all the events that they had scheduled for the good of Keino. And we thank them. We thank the government also, because when the government saw that part of the works that were going on in Kasarani and Nyayo could not give us room to do it, they gave us the option of going to Ulinzi.
The Ulinzi Sports Complex,
and they did all that it takes to make sure that we are there. They sponsored us. They made sure that all the protocols there are cleared, and therefore the venue is very, very, very hospitable now. We are from there. We've marked. We did everything. We made sure that all the air quality controls are there.
Right. We
have installed the air quality sensors. We've done all the markings to the international standards. Tomorrow, when you come there, we are opening tomorrow for athletes to train on the venue, because it's new, so they can have the feel from tomorrow. And like in other international events where you have the feel of the stadium one day to the event. So tomorrow, all the athletes will arrive, and the Kenyan athletes who are here, they have their training schedule at the venue, which is a plus for us. And thirdly, we have prepared everything. The technical officials we used last time are all moving to do again the thing that they did here. And everything now is in place. We are saying only we're waiting for the D-Day. We are doing the final polishing of branding only. Branding only is the remaining thing. We are doing the maybe NTV, who are our official broadcasters, are now rigging. We call it rigging.
You've learned the language now.
That's the language around here officially. Yes. They are doing their rigging. The Timetronics guys are already in Kenya, all the way from Korea and Belgium. And we are doing the official timing that is recognized worldwide. And whatever they'll post, and I am thankful that Moresa is running this time around. If he qualifies for World Championships, it is recognized. And we have given a chance to them. Macu, this time around we have several national events, and having ridden from what we did in China, I was their team leader, as well as their technical leader in Guangzhou, having them break three Kenyan records, qualifying 3 relay teams to Tokyo. The only thing is to reward them with a national event for them to qualify en masse for Tokyo again in the individual races. And now Mweresa is racing here. He's here, very happy.
Yes.
Very happy and thankful indeed. We are having 2 400-meter races.
Yes.
Which is very... And I think I thank the sponsors, Absa here, the sports fund, who have really invested on us and trusted on what we do on an international platform like that. We are committed to World Athletics Code, and part of the prize money of their sponsorship goes to prize money, the heaviest investment in it. They earn whatever he could earn in running a race, for example, in USA, a race in Europe, or even in the Asia. They will earn right here. And Makiu, now that Mweresa is coming without a manager, he has the whole of his money. No deductions.
No 10%.
No 15%. No air ticket. Accommodation is free again. We are giving them accommodation for free. Part of the investment. You see, this is tailored to.
The pressure is increasing.
Exactly.
But that's what athletes thrive in.
Yeah. Like every athlete. Every athlete. But we try to manage it when we're racing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Which one do you prefer to run in? Nyayo, Kasarani, Ulinzi? Unachaguanga aje ndio unajua ni gani ndio unasikia uko more at home?
I think Ulinzi is the fastest track we have now in Kenya. The fastest. I think we are going to have like the fastest time ever running in Keino. With these guys who are coming. And I think we are going to have the national events. You're going to have like more than 5 athletes qualifying. That one I'm sure. The track is so fast. Winds.
When you say track, we understand it, but for a layman, for somebody who's watching, help us understand what you mean a fast track.
A fast track, something like aina winds. There's no flow of winds, like you know, when you go against or nini winds, it's somehow hot. You know, when it's hot for a sprinter, it's the best.
What if it rains? Because I know Kenyans and rain Okabi.
That's where the problem is.
What if it rains?
We are present, sir, to make sure that it doesn't rain.
You're going to talk to the people who take care of rain.
That's why we are here.
We're going to take a very short break. Of course, we're talking about the Absa Keino Classic, which is happening this Saturday in the capital Nairobi in a new venue, the Ulinzi Sports Complex. And we're back with that conversation after this very short break on Sport On. Do stay tuned. Well, a lot of excitement here in the studio as we continue the second half of the show on Sport On. If you're just joining us, we're talking about the Absa Keino Classic, which is happening this coming Saturday, the 6th edition, on the 31st of May. Wakabi, the last day of the month of May. But what a way to end it.
Fantastic way, because it's a really, really big weekend in terms of sports. So you start off at Keino, you finish what's going on at Keino, and then now later on at night you can watch the Champions League. You know, like you've had all your athletics field, then you finish with the biggest game in European football. So May 31st, you only have one place to be at. We will be on ground, like Tanui said, TV, radio. As we are the smaller side, but we will be there.
We will be there.
Yes, we will be.
It will be a hybrid kind of broadcast.
Exactly.
Radio plus TV. Now, speaking about the grounds itself, obviously, Tanui, of course, there's been conversation regarding the Ulinzi Sports Complex. Is everything, have you ticked all the boxes that we require?
Yes, I want to assure the public that we've done the very best, and we've done what it takes to have a certified stadium. World Athletics has been on our ground. I think 2 months now. We've been doing all the when we realize that
there's a change of venue.
They will be, not that they have been changed. We gave out the proposals for having, and we proposed 2 stadiums, that is Ulinzi and Nakuru. So we went for a tour, toured all of them with the high level technical officials from World Athletics,
including yourself, because you're certified.
I am one of them. I'm one of them, in fact. We led together with Ibrahim, that team, Ibrahim Hussein. And after doing all the things, we settled for Ulinzi. And the process began. The process of certification is a very long journey. But having had, first of all, qualified contractors certified by World Athletics, a tartan that is laid there is a World Athletics certified synthetic track. It was done like that. The workmanship there, though there were a few corrections that we had to input after the recommendations, work started for the same. And the initial grant was given to us by World Athletics to continue preparing for the venue, pending ratification of the venue 2 months ago. We've done all the recommendations, including moving of the fence, the perimeter fence for spectators, some 2 meters behind where it was originally. We've done, there was somewhere in the, these guys, they've used that place as a training area, not a competition area. And you find that training wears some parts of the synthetic track. We removed the entire part, and we put a new synthetic on the one areas. We've done also the axe. Initially, the stadium did not have a hammer cage. We've constructed a hammer cage in a record 2 weeks. It's there. We've done a shot put throwing area. We've done the steeplechases. It's now correct, and we're giving it a thumbs up after redoing it. And also part of the areas that are very critical for EP, which you guys will be using, it's now standard. We have also the Timetronics, including the ducts up to and including the farthest, which is 200 meter start. It is now going up to there. We have the most certified Timetronics, which is giving us the equipment for timing. They are there. The suppliers, which is Homeboys, supplying the rest of the screens and the peripheral accessories that are there. They're already in ground. And we today submitted the final survey quantities and ratios today, which is the last thing to do in certification, and all of them are in conformity with World Athletics. God willing, tomorrow we are having a certificate. We've done everything, and now it's a certified field, fully contested that it is the best. We are submitting today the last documents for the same, which, if not, we could have called off this event. And now that we know that we are sure this is an event that is certified by World Athletics, we have done everything around the clock, and it is gone to that level that we want.
So at least now we are sure of that. We can get that out of there, because it's been one of those questions. So Mohaki, on the day, what can we expect other than, of course, world-class action? We know that is going to come, especially in the international window, 4 to 6, we all know, and the national one as well. But what else is there for a guy who maybe doesn't like athletics too much, but wants to be somewhere where there's good vibe?
Lots of good vibe will be there. I mean, just because of the action that will be there, you can picture all these stars coming in to compete on Kenyan soil. You can see them hapa kwa hapa, like you're seated here, the guys are running here. That's the sort of action we are talking about. And that's not all. Entertainment. This is the bash for during the day. Yeah, so this is the bash of 31st May. This is the best bash to attend during the day. End month. Before you decide how your night is panning out, this is the place to be. The adrenaline, the action, the pride just from being Kenyan and watching first our Kenyan athletes plus all the other international guys come, it can't be understated. This is one of those things, the chants, the singing, the cheering on, it's just a really, really good vibe, and you don't want to miss out. But if for any reason you can't make it to Ulinzi Sports Complex on Saturday, that's why we have NTV. It will be live. Please watch. Stay at home or wherever it is with your pals. Watch it. Follow online, and please share the good stories. Let's all get onto our social media platforms. If you're in stadium, take the action, share it. Let's get everyone behind this amazing thing. As you've said, there's nothing else you should be doing on 31st May. You should be here watching the athletics. And even if you're not like an athletics fan, like you don't know the details, who is running what, just the atmosphere and the vibe, we guarantee you, it will be A1.
Kennedy, more often than not, the last few years we've had Keep Keino and we've told guys, come in, just come in. But this year you've said, guys, show us how much you love it. Tell us a bit about the tickets, how many tickets are on offer. You said it's tikiti.co.ke, and there's also an SSD code. Just tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, okay, for this time round, we decided to do something for a worthy cause. We are not paying for the sake of paying. We are paying to support a cause. You see, in Kenya, we are doing a youth development program that is very massive and very extensive. All the way from Kijiwetanga in Kilifi, all the way up to Turkana, Kakuma, we are doing youth development camps. The government has invested up to 55 camps in Kenya right now. And we, as Athletics Kenya, decided to support them in a special way. Though the government gives us some funds, they are only operational funds to do it. It's like upkeep and maybe staff remuneration. But there is a special thing in athletics that everybody don't invest in, and that is on for example, the shoes that these athletes run on. When you go to the youth championships, every now and then you'll find children running barefooted. They are training barefooted and they are on the road. We decided that Keino will work on a cause of that nature, and therefore the 200 shillings that you will pay for Keino will go directly to buying shoes to youth camps in Kenya. And with that one, we'll do it accountably. You will see where we are distributing all those shoes, because this is the basic thing in athletics, to have a shoe. So we say that we are doing this for a worthy cause, and all our fans, we expect. Today, even Yundong, you must pay to enter the stadium, even if you are at a sponsor, a live coverage. She has done her part. Ask her. On top of the 60 million shillings that they gave to these athletes in prize monies and all those activations, she has bought how many? 2,000 seats for the staff and family of Absa. So if the sponsor is paying, can we also support the cause? It will be, for the ordinary people, we pay only 200 shillings.
Right.
But for VIP, we pay 2,000 shillings for the same, because the VIP seats are very limited. That is another factor again. They are very limited. Ulinzi Stadium is an 8,000 capacity seater. If you let it free, it will get filled yesterday.
Yes.
So another way of even having
managing as well.
But I'm very sure the limitation is not the money for our fans. The limitation is just arriving at the venue. It doesn't matter the cost that it costs there. Another thing is that also we are very happy we are hosting it in a very safe environment. One, it's a military facility, and military have assured us of safety. A plus. Your children are very safe. Your family is very safe when they are there. Just come with your identification to show that you are a citizen of Kenya, and if you are not a Kenyan, come with your passport to show that you are.
So that's very important information. So you must come with your national identity card.
Yes, come with your national identity card for those who are over 18. But for children, come all.
Okay. Boniface, obviously competing in Kenya, you've said it, that there's that level of pressure. Do you have your own personal goals in terms of course, your personal best? I think in the 400 is 44.96, if I'm not wrong. Is that something in the back of your mind, or you just want to see how the race progresses? Because you set the bar in China at the World Relay Championships as an individual, because you dominate in the relay, but as an individual, do you have your own personal goals in terms of timings?
Yeah, of course. This time we wanted to do something faster than my personal best. So our target was, if I had a split of 43.59. So when you do it like mathematical or scientifically, when how it's supposed to be, you just add 1 second. So most probably I'm supposed to run something between 44.5 to 44.6. Okay. That's my target.
That's your target?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have planned it with my coach. So I think we are going to have a good show.
Why I asked that question is also because Julius Yego is watching Wakabi, and you'll be part of the athletes who are competing in the men's javelin. It's quite a packed.
Actually, one of my favorite events looking forward to is the men's javelin.
It's the men's javelin.
It's got Olympic champions after Olympic champions.
Yes, we have I think two world champions, if I'm not wrong. Just give us an idea of the athletes, the caliber of athletes who are coming, because the javelin is box office. Who else are we expecting in
I'm
Nairobi?
telling you the truth. Javelin is in the sky. We don't know where it lands. We don't know where it lands, because even today in the morning, the first athlete to arrive for this thing is
Anderson Peters.
The world champion, the bronze medalist in Olympics. And he He just came from Doha the other day with a very good season best of 85 meters. That's why I'm saying that the javelin is in the sky. It will only land in Keino, and the distance will be amazing. The star-studded field led by Diego, and all the rest that we have invited have given us. Even in the track, the kings of track are there. 100 meters. We are expecting the young kid on the blocks.
The South African.
The South African Walanza.
Yeah, Bayanda
Yes.
Walaza.
Walaza. Walaza.
He was so good. This weekend he ran what?
In Zagreb,
994
yeah.
in
In Zagreb,
Zagreb.
yeah.
I think 4th all-time world under 20.
And the news is he's already in. He's asleep now in a hotel in Nairobi.
So he's arrived.
He's arrived already.
Okay.
And he has done his first field test of the field in Ulinzi today in the afternoon, in the evening. He was, before I came here, he was the last one out of the stadium at 7. I expect our own Omanyala. I think he will confirm that he is now running, and he's on his form. And the way he has built the season, I love it. I love it. Progressively. And what he did for us in China was just a show that you can see how Mweresa started it. Give him, and that was the magic that was to work for our team. We want to say that we would have done better than that, because if not, Marco Tieno pulled his hamstring during our final phase of it.
Yes.
And that is why we had to realign the entire team. And I like them because this guy here decided to do the lion duty. He said that I'm starting 4x4, and I'll be the anchor man also in 4x100 and anchor man in 4x4. He did 4 races. Is it? Yeah, 4.
That's why he was captain of the team.
Yes. Lead by example.
You have to lead by example.
And This is the spirit. This is the Kenyan
They need
spirit.
to add something.
Yes.
No. You need to continue leading by example this weekend.
Yes.
That 40. What did you tell us? 40. You said
43.
44.5.
Yes.
Just 44.7. I'm okay.
But amazingly, he did a split of 43.59.
Yes.
Is it? And that was, I think, it's the performance of the championship, because nobody ran that. They ran 43.7, 43.8, the best, and he's the guy who boxed Americans out of qualification in the first day until they had to go for repechage to qualify. And we say kudos to such guys, because that is the spirit. And when these guys, when we were preparing, they were assuring us, just watch this space. I had the confidence, but I had some reservations. These guys might ban themselves. That is why I had to give checks every now and then. Checks. Tulia ni vijana. Bad. Tulia ni vijana. But it's the experience. I've had them. Like Mweresa, I've had him since, is it 2012?
Yeah, 2012.
When he was a kid in Barcelona.
By the way, just to confirm, he's 31. When I joked at the start and I said Beatrice Chebet, the time she ran, he probably wasn't born. If he was born, he was a few weeks old or a few months old. That is how good Beatrice was.
But I was born already.
Anyway, Bernard, just to confirm, so like the 100 meters, Fernando Manyala, Jerome Blake, Kennedy Lachan, you've got Walaza, of course, you've got Masangwani, and then I see Marco Tieno is there, so I'm hoping he's recovered and ready to go.
Fully.
So like you said, really good field. Some of the other names, Fan Bule is in the 200 meters, the Liberian. Always shows up in Nairobi, and which I think is really good. And maybe, what do you guys do to make them keep coming back? Because some of these guys are always here. Fan Bule is always here. Kyrie King is always here. The lady I like from Jane, she's always here. What keeps them coming back, Kennedy?
One, first of all, I told you, every Kenyan event that we do is an international event. So, whatever they come for is that kind of feeling. Two, the Kenyan spirit. When our Kenyans are in the stadium, they are just magics. They cheer everybody and anybody who performs. And 3, the hospitality in Kenya. It's the best. And now that we are running just near the park. Yeah, for the public, we are running at the park. So at the end of it all, when they arrive, we take them for a ride at the park, and they see the magics in Kenya, the hospitality in Kenya, and when they go back, they never disappoint coming back again. And I think Kenya in There's a special place and ice. You see the investment that they are putting in.
Right.
The name Kenya itself alone is a selling point, and we must maintain that name. Because wherever you go, they would like to be in Kenya. Mujinga Kabuji had confirmed.
In fact, can you clarify that for us, by the way? We saw she has this post where she showed us a sonogram. Will she still come, Mama, now? We let her do other things.
We are very happy for her. Yes. She was to come, but now she's adding another athlete to us. A blessing. And we say we will name that boy or girl Keep Keino. Thank you.
Mwehaki, what's the one thing you're looking forward to the most on Saturday? What's the one thing? I don't know that you can answer that as Absa or as Mwehaki. The one thing you're looking forward to the most.
I think for me, the one thing is just that sense of national pride. And I don't know how else to describe that. There's just that feeling when you're in a stadium full of Kenyans, and especially when, and this is just, of course, I'm Kenyan. So when our guys are running their races, when Fadi takes the stage, when he takes the stage, when Julius Yego is throwing that javelin, there's Sarah Mora, you know, Wiseman when he goes on the 400 meters. Those for me are just the moments I'm looking forward to. And that buzz and that cheering. And ultimately, I mean, when our flag flies high, I think that's the ultimate moment of pride. But whatever the case, whoever wins, as I said, it's a story. There will be amazing stories coming out of Saturday. Whichever way you cut it, there'll be amazing stories. And for Absa, that's what matters, because every story matters to us.
Absolutely. Mwehaki, thank you so much for joining us on Sport On. Boniface, all the best this weekend. Tanui and the entire team preparing this year's Absa Keep Keino Classic. We wish you all the very best. And Okabi, now it's time to shift to something else that you love enjoying, of course. This past weekend, in terms of the NBA, it's been a very, very, very interesting kind of scenario. Things are permutations. Because remember, on this side, you have the Western Conference. OKC, they were dominating it. This side, on the Eastern side as well,